Welcome to the Connector's Edge podcast. My name is Marian and LaSalle and my co-host, Ricki McKenna. Good morning, Ricki.
Good morning, Marian, or good afternoon, evening to whoever is watching us.
Yes, yes, we do record this in the morning, but you can watch it on YouTube anytime you want, or you can listen on your favorite podcast app in your ears while you're
Yep.
driving down the road, mowing your lawn, or whatever it is you're doing, as long as you have Bluetooth or earbuds of some sort on any podcast app. So my favorite, of course, is through my Apple iPhone, and all I have to do is go to the podcast and listen. And that's what I do. I listen a lot to podcasts, not just ours, which I do. What I listen to ours.
hmm
So you crack me up. Let me tell you. You may not know it because it's just who you are, but you just crack me up when I listen the second time because we're
hmm
repeating it, right? I
Yeah.
hear things that I didn't even know you said. It's like, wow, that Ricki, she's something else. I love
Uh-oh.
her. I love her.
I
Uh,
better watch out what I say.
exactly.
No,
So
I filter first most of the time. I do have a few filters.
yes, I realize. So this is part of Referral Business Builders, which has many, many options and things going on. So we have, of course, the podcast. We have networking events on Zoom. We have classes and different things going on all different days and times. Just go to referralbusinessbuilders.com and check it out. And if you want to join, great. There's even a button that says "Be Our Guest" if you don't want to join
hmm
right away, which it's only $10 a month anyway. But you just might want to, instead of just jumping right in there, you might want to experience us. So
Sure.
let's take them over there, Ricki, and then we'll come back to
Excellent.
the
Yeah.
podcast here. All
Yeah.
right.
Sometimes it helps for most people. People are usually visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Kinesthetic, excuse me. And for the most part, when you show somebody what you're talking about, they really get it. It reinforces it. So let's do it.
We just have to remember that some people only listen to us on the podcast app. So
Okay.
just bear with us for about 5 minutes while we show you around. And if you want to see what we're talking about, just go over to the, it's called Connectors Edge Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube. So you can come over and check out what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to share my screen
Yeah.
and you let me know when you can see it.
I see it.
Okay, good. So this
Yep.
is referralbusinessbuilders.com, and this is the home. We do have an About Us. Our podcast is right here, in-person meetings, and we
hmm
also have online meetings. We have a FAQ and a Contact Us, and we are on Facebook. We have a group and a page, so check this out.
Yep.
Next thing I can show you here is Be Our Guest, which we encourage you to come over, click on that, and it will take you to a place where you can put your name and information in here and click
And
on the guest
there's
registration.
Yep. And you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see Marion is chief connector and podcast co-host. And then we have one, two, three, four, five, six others on there who host different meetings similar to what we're doing, but it's a referral business builder meeting. And then of course I'm on the last one on the list. I love my star as the podcast co-host. And just to let you know, I'm also a certified nutritionist, and I host another show on Zoom called Ricky's Kitchen. Ta-da!
Love that.
And but I've been part of Referral Business Builders from the get-go,
Yes, you
and
have.
it's just not only is it a lot of fun because you meet some very interesting people, but it is also an incredible learning program in the sense that you'll always find somebody that brings out something new and
Yes.
and connects. And that's why we call this the connector's edge, because we all definitely connect. And then just to give you a little hint, it's who you know and who you connect with that can really help move your life forward and your business forward if you're concerned about that as well. And we'll
Mhm.
get to that very shortly, a little more in detail. Go ahead, Marian.
We have some announcements, of course. We just opened up a chapter in Houston. We had our first one, our first meeting a few days ago, and it went really, really well. We were really, really happy with it. We're meeting at, um, well, it's a co-working space. And I
Oh,
love the fact that the owner allowed us to come in and use his space. He's got a conference room, and it's called Office in America. What they do is they have a lot of different ways that you can connect with people outside of your organization. So they'll collect your mail, they'll answer your phone for you. You can have your meetings there. It's pretty cool. And he's our sponsor. So I'm really excited about that.
beautiful.
And then, of course, we're going to be talking today about the Connectors Hour book club, but we've got so much more going on, as you know, that you can meet all our leaders and read all about them and just come on in. The water's fine, right?
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to be doing today, though, we're going to be talking about our weekly momentum, which is part of our podcast and part of our whole system, and the book club. The book club is who, not how, this month. And I say this month, but who knows? It could be, we could go on for 2 months. Our host is, let's come down here. Our host for this is Chris Sievers. He's on every Monday morning at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. And now that Ricki is in a different time zone, hers is 6:30 a.m. And I'm trying to get her to come and show up that early. So she said she might try.
I will try.
But she
Definitely.
did buy the book. She knows it's so
Ta-da.
good.
Got
She
the
bought the
book.
book. Hmm.
Got it. Here we go.
So what I'm
And
going to do real quick before we get back into the book and everything is I'm going to show you a little bit about what it is we're talking about once you log in. Okay, so if you hit this little thing right here, once you become a member and you log in, you end up in this place called Circle. So Circle starts with general posts, and the general posts are just general things that are going on. But one of the things I love about this is that we have a feed just like Facebook. So everything that's going on inside Referral Business Builders, inside the community, is right here in your feed. So you don't have to miss anything. Like this morning, we had the book club. It's already up. We have a lot of different things that you could do. You can read about what we did this morning. We have a summary. These are the people that showed up. As you could tell, we were having a good time. And it just goes over a little bit about what we were doing. And let me just heart that right there. There we go.
no,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. So you can
I can go in and do that too.
yeah, you can watch this, you can comment on it, you can connect with the people that you met here.
Hmm.
As I love this lady right here. She is on her way to a job. And so she didn't want to miss the book club. So she's driving and listening to us as we go through our book club. I love that. That's dedication for you.
Indeed.
All right, so over here on the left are a lot more, but we're going to come back to that at a later date because today we're talking about who, not how. So Ricki, I know you must have a good story about how you have looked into a who and forgot all about the how. You just knew you were going to find a who. So tell us a story about that.
Well, that's funny. She just popped that on me, by the way. We didn't rehearse this. One of the things I could say was when I moved from Houston up to Basalt, which is a little tiny town in the mountains of Colorado, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'll have to get some pictures to show you. Um, I had lived here for 15 years, but I'd been gone for about 11. And coming back, it was, who do I call? Who do I let know I'm back? You know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just sort of, one of my dear friends, we've known each other for I don't even know how many years at this point, at least 20. took me to her exercise class. And so in the exercise class, I literally ran into other people, other who's that I knew from years ago. So I reacquainted with those people. And through the reacquainting with those people, I have met other people. And then July 4th, because we moved here about a month before that, we were driving around our area, and I knew that one of my friends who had suggested to my husband that he meet at the Rotary meeting he was going to, this is the Who's, I knew that he and his wife lived on a particular street, which is about a mile behind us, maybe. And so we're slowly driving down the street and we see a group of people sitting in front of one of the houses. And you have to picture the street because this is in the mountains and it's all loaded, it's trees and it's like getting into a forest and oh, there's a house in there. And sure enough, we stopped. We were just gliding slowly through down the street, and the street is a block long. Um, there was my friend Jackie, and she looks in the car because as you're driving and you're going slowly, and there's a group of there must have been about a dozen people there, and she looks in the car, and her eyes went, "Hmm." I said, "Hi, Jackie, it's Ricki." So there's the who. And the funny part was 2 weeks before that, I had suggested to Richard when he was going to attend the first time the Rotary meeting in Carbondale, which is the next little town 11 miles away, to look for a certain person. So interestingly, as he walked into the meeting, he was greeted by this person and introduced himself. And he said, "Oh, you're Tim." And he said, "Do you know Ricky McKenna?" And Tim just went, "Yeah." So it's who, because Tim then, of course, introduced him to everybody else in the meeting, and now he's a member. As a matter
There
of
you
fact, this
go.
morning, um, he's been a Rotarian for 30 something years. So he's familiar with the whole drill and what they do, and it's really amazing. So Tim picked him up and they were going to a meeting of the International Committee because Richard has been involved in a lot of different things internationally through Rotary as well as his business. But it's the who. It truly is because Tim also was kind enough Saturday. He said, "I'm going to pick you up because I want to take you around and see if we can find some place for you to put your telescopes." Richard's an astronomer as well as a geophysicist. And so he took him around and the car was full of dust and mud because they were going over, country roads. But this is how you meet people. You can meet one person who can just open up a whole new world for you.
I believe that.
And
Well, this morning in the book club, we did talk a little bit more about business, who's, and the thought did come up that I really don't have any filters about meeting new people. So some people do, they're shy or they don't know what to say or they don't have the experience
yeah.
or some reason why they don't go up to people and start talking. Well, Ricki and I had never met a stranger. And so for us, it's easy. And they did remind me of that. But I wanted to give you my example because I think this is so important. So when your mind is forcing you to think a certain way, if you could try to think of it in a little different way, it will help you. I'll give you an example. I was very, very poor and I needed to go to this thing at Unity Church. It's a big auditorium and they allowed a bigwig to come in, Brene Brown, I think is her
Oh,
name.
Brene Brown, sure.
Uh,
Fabulous.
and it was expensive to go and I didn't have the money. Instead of saying to myself, so here's this big lesson, instead of saying to myself, you know what, I can't go because it's too expensive and I just can't go right now, it's too bad for me. I said, I wonder who I know that I could call at the church and see if they have any, what is that word that they use? A scholarship.
Well,
Let's see if
oh,
they have a
okay.
scholarship. And sure enough, they did. I got to go on a scholarship. Now, that's just one example of how you can think about who instead of how, right? So who just might be Chat GPT, who just might be your friend. It just
Mhm.
might be someone you've never met, but you want to meet. You could reach out to another who could introduce you to that person. So in other words, it's all a mindset, in
It
my
is a
opinion.
mindset. Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking of also, when you're with an organization or you're in, part of an organization, especially someplace like either a church or some sort of other service organization, there's always volunteer opportunities. And volunteering, you will definitely meet other people. And just in conversation, you can say hello, or you can say, how are you today? What's new? And when you first meet somebody, it can be very interesting just to say, and how was your day today? Or what did you do last week? Or some question that's an open-ended question that just leads to a conversation. And you
Okay,
never
I
know
have
what's going
another
to
one.
develop from there.
Yes, thank you. I have another really good example.
Okay.
So, believe it or not, I used to run a quantum physics study group, right? Sounds really big and bold, but we used a book to study and go through, and we did experiments. And one of the experiments was a mindset shift.
Mm.
And I won't go into all the details, but in this group, we were all really figuring out how we could change our mindset to get what we want and manifest and do. There's all kinds of things going on. And one of the members came to us and said, I'm having a really rough time at work. She worked at Whole Foods and she loved it. She called it whole paycheck, but anyway, she loved it. But they had her at the cash register and she was having a hard time because she would ask people, so how's your day today? Or she would ask them something like that. And usually it was like, well, it's so hot outside. It hasn't rained and or, oh, I'm not feeling that great. The question she asked brought up to some people, something negative. So
Hmm.
we, in the study group, what we did was we had her change her mindset and we came up with some new ideas on questions she could ask when they came through
Good.
her line. And the question that we asked her to try was, so what's the best thing that's happened to you today?
Ooh,
She said that by the time it was a monthly meeting, by the time she came back, she said her whole life had changed. She was happy at work. Everybody responded in a great way. She met people she, would have never met before because of the question that she
yes.
asked. Now
Well,
that comes from a mindset change.
as a coach, one of the things I learned was to ask people questions exactly like that, that opens them up, because what you give out returns to you. You get back what you give out. And if you're asking a question, excuse me, that's upbeat, that invites something wonderful to come back, that can change your whole day. That's a perfect example, Marian. Thank you.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
And it is mindset. And I have a little plate in the kitchen that I stare at every time I go to the sink because it's sitting just under the window. And it says, just one positive thought in the morning can change your whole day.
That's true.
And I mean, we tend to complicate things when something as simple as that can really make a difference in your day and in your life.
Yes, I
I'm
agree with
going to
that.
shut up after that, which is difficult for me.
Well, it's true. So we have a newsletter that goes out. It's called the Weekly Momentum, even though it goes out twice a month. And
Hmm.
this one is called The Who That Moves You Forward. And
Hmm.
so I hope that you will go and it's free to sign up. Just go to referralbusinessbuilders.com and just sign up for the newsletter. We won't harass you or ask you to pay us anything for it. It's free, but I think you'll enjoy it because it moves right along with the who, not how. And I love every minute of this podcast, our book study, our masterminds, our all the things that we're doing.
Hmm.
It
Quite a
Those are
variety.
my who's. So Ricki is one of my who's, and I'm one of her who's.
Absolutely.
All right, I want to leave with one final story of something that you did that you chose a who, not how. And
See?
that is to invite people to a group. You reached out to a who and said, hey, let's combine each other's um,
Talents.
yes, your talents. So Ricki is a fantastic chef, and the lady that she reached out to is a fantastic opportunity to teach you new modalities for healing. And they
Mm.
combine themselves. Okay, they combine themselves. So they didn't have to worry about anything. Literally, they had it all covered. You got fed and you got introduced to healing modalities. It was
Absolutely.
fantastic. I've heard all the stories. And so please tell us how your mindset went about finding this who and how you move forward.
That's perfect. Yes, and we do have place for comments below if you're watching. Even if you're watching the replay, I believe there are places where you can still comment.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you want to contact either of us, my phone number's right up there. And or my website is rickyskitchen.net, as well as coming in through Referral Business Builders. I think even if you're shy, coming in through Referral Business Builders, do be our guest. That's why that button is there for you. Look around, and it may be something that will surprise you because there are some people on in who've become members who are kind of shy, and yet it's a safe space. Nobody gets harassed. We don't allow that.
No.
Um, and it's a very positive, upbeat network. And I'm sure you've all heard networking ad nauseum, but there's a quote that just popped into my mind. Your network is your net worth, or is it
Hmm.
the other way around? Because you'll always find someone with whom you can connect. And that's the whole point of our connector's edge here, because we do connect people and we do connect people to things that they are looking for. That's the whole point of the who, not how.
Yeah. There's actually, I didn't show it today. We'll go over it again later. But there's actually a collaborators and partnership tab where you can go and find somebody that
Yep.
might want to work with you. So ask yourself these things. Who in my network has done this before that I could reach out to and ask their advice? Who might have a resource or a shortcut for me if I have
Right.
a goal? And who could I collaborate with instead of struggling solo?
Collaborations are some of the best connections
I
you'll
know.
turn into
Well,
collaborations.
you and I are collaborating right
Yep.
here on this
Yep.
podcast, and we both love it so much.
It's a lot of fun. Besides, I have met some very interesting people who have helped me in whatever way necessary. Or and don't be afraid to ask. That's another thing. If you don't ask, how are you going to get? So,
Well, ask and you shall receive, they say.
yes. Uh,
All the
and
great teachers say it.
if you're looking for something that's spiritual, and I think everything at this point is spiritual. I keep feeling that um, some of the meetings that I've had, exercise class. I mentioned something about I have a problem with the shoulder, it's screwing up my pickleball career. And then one of the women that I mentioned something about the shoulder had her, I think it's her sister, call me, who lives about 40 miles from here who's a healer. And there are people who, yeah, I mean, energy healers. And then I spoke with somebody else the other day, and she mentioned the same person. And it's one of those things, it's like a synchronicity.
Hmm.
When you hear it once or
Better pay
twice and then three
attention.
times, pay attention to it.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the who.
There you
And it
go.
helps you with the how.
There you go.
So,
All right. So
all
Ricky's
right.
going to close us out tonight, or this morning, or when, whatever day
Whatever,
it. It's
whatever time of
daylight
the
out.
day
I
it
can
is.
see it's daylight.
Yes, I
Okay.
see that. Yeah, and I invite you all, if you heard one nugget or more than that, please comment below. Type your comment in, talk it in however you want to do it. Use AI, whatever. But let us know that you're here, that you've heard something that really sparked, a nice idea or something that really touched your heart. Let us know, please, because it does help us to keep going. And it helps reinforce the idea that, yep, we're bringing something that's good to the public. And so we invite you to comment and come join us on Referral Business Builders. Be our guest.
Till next time. Bye for
Okay,
now.
bye for now.